Notre Dame has been on an absolute tear in 2024 ever since what happened in week 2. And their dominant 49-14 victory over Army at Yankee Stadium only solidified their position as a top contender for the college football playoff. This win keeps the Irish undefeated in Shamrock Series games and sets the stage for a monumental push towards the postseason. But before we dive into the details of this impressive victory, let's take a step back and look at the incredible journey this team has been on since the start of the season. But before that even, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 40,000 subscribers, and with your support, I believe that we can get there super fast. Alright, so the 2024 season for Notre Dame started with high expectations, but a shocking loss to Northern Illinois in week 2 threatened to derail everything. It was a game where Leonard threw 2 costly interceptions, and many were questioning whether he was the right fit for the Irish. But what happened next was a testament to the leadership of head coach Freeman and the resilience of this team. Instead of letting that loss define their season, the Irish used it as fuel. Freeman's approach in the aftermath of that game was crucial. He didn't berate on Leonard or lose faith in him. Instead, he showed unwavering support, understanding that his quarterback and players needed confidence, not criticism. And this trust became a turning point for the entire team. Freeman was even humble enough to listen to NIU's coach, who gave advice on how they were able to beat them. Since that loss, Notre Dame has been on an absolute tear. They won 9 consecutive games, with 8 of those victories coming by at least 2 touchdowns. The Irish have outscored their opponents by a staggering margin, and I don't really think this school intended to play as easy of a schedule as it did. They had Florida State on their slate, who they didn't expect to be this bad initially. Georgia Tech is a feisty team, and then Army was undefeated. And week 1 on the road against Texas A&M, that was a real tough game as well. So Notre Dame is battle tested, and every team has at least one stinker per year. It just happened to be a pretty bad one this time around. But they moved on and learned from it, to say the least. Player-wise, Leonard has been at the heart of this resurgence. After that rocky start, he's transformed into a dual-threat nightmare for defenses. His development has been pretty remarkable, leading the team in passing, and he's second in rushing, with 1,937 passing yards and 671 rushing yards. His decision-making has improved dramatically, throwing only 2 interceptions in the last 9 games combined. This evolution in Leonard's game has forced defenses to account for both his arm and his legs, opening up opportunities for his position players every week. The Irish offense isn't just relying on Leonard though. Jeremiah Love has been on a heater in the backfield. In the Army game, Love tied a school record by scoring a rushing touchdown in his 11th consecutive game. His 68-yard touchdown run was a masterclass in vision and speed, showcasing why he's become such a crucial part of the Notre Dame attack as of late. And his consistency has been key. He's already notched 4 100-yard rushing games this season, providing a reliable ground threat that complements Leonard's dual threat capabilities. And defensively, the Irish have been nothing short of phenomenal. Safety Xavier Watts, the reigning Bronco Nagurski Trophy winner, I think I said this right, probably completely butchered that, has been a ball hawk in the secondary. Some people think he's the best safety in all of college football. He originally was told he wasn't going to be good enough to be a receiver, and with all the odds against him, instead of transferring, he became an All-American on the other side of the ball. I really don't hear anyone talking about this guy too much. He really goes underappreciated. The defense as a whole held the Black Knights to just 26 passing yards, the fewest allowed by Notre Dame since 2015. And the front 7 was dominant, limiting the Army rushing attack that had been so successful all year long and forcing them into uncomfortable passing situations. This performance is just the latest in a string of defensive masterpieces. The Irish have held 6 opponents to under 250 total yards this season, tying a school record set in 1983. So the win over Army was a masterclass in all 3 phases of the game. Offensively, the Irish were unstoppable. Love's performance was complemented by Jadarian Price, who scored 2 rushing touchdowns of his own. Aeneas Williams also got in on the action with a 58-yard touchdown run in the 4th quarter. This multi-pronged rushing attack has kept defenses guessing all season, and when they're on, they prevent them from keying in on any single player. As impressive as Notre Dame has been lately, they gotta maintain this level of play against tougher competition. In the playoffs, they won't be facing teams like Army or other regular season opponents. Instead, they could be up against powerhouses like Ohio State or Texas. Against teams of that caliber, it won't be enough to rely on just 1 or 2 standout performers. The entire team will need to elevate elevate their game to compete at the highest level. But I think they can do this. I have full faith in Marcus Freeman and his ability to draw up a game plan that gets all the key guys involved. After the win over Army, Freeman had a few things to say. Hopefully, it's a mindset that we all have. Handling success, he said. I mean, we won, but we're so much more. So much more. Let's enjoy this thing. The outcome's what you wanted, but the mental approach we're taking this week is so crucial to how we can improve. And it's got to be hard. I just told those guys, you don't improve by doing the same thing you did the week before. Human nature. Gravity takes over, you're going to get worse. So we have to prepare mentally in a difficult way and physically in a difficult way for the next opponent if we want to truly elevate and improve. And so, that's the mindset we have, and hopefully, that's the reason why, as a whole, we've been having the success that we've been having the past couple weeks. The one thing that definitely will hurt Notre Dame is them not being in a conference, because the major conference winners are going to get that first round bye. So Notre Dame definitely has their work cut out for them. But I guess technically they could just view their first round game as their conference championship, because they would have had to win that anyways to get in. But I really am just so impressed with how Notre Dame bounced back after what happened in week 2, because I'll admit it, I thought it was probably over. They had all the overrated claims going their way, they lost to a school who had no business even being in the game, and it would have been easy to lose motivation after letting something like that happen. But Marcus Freeman stuck to the process. They didn't panic, they just made adjustments and bounced back. Here's what some of the media has had to say about this team.
We told you that Army was no match for Notre Dame. Right now, Notre Dame has been on an absolute tear. And while you can look at the Virginia game and maybe nitpick, and that's fine, but if you really watch Notre Dame collectively and the comfort that they're starting to create with their quarterback, the defense that completely can sell out and take away the run, I think when you look at where Notre Dame's at, I think they're a very real national championship contender. Now, I will say that with a caveat, I think they could also lose next week. Would it surprise anybody if USC beat Notre Dame with their weapons next week? Like, it wouldn't surprise me at all. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just saying that's just seemingly the way the college football season has gone this year. Huge game next week for Notre Dame. They win. They not only secure a playoff spot, but I think you can make the case now that they secured that home playoff game, which is obviously a massive coup for the Fighting Irish.
You know, the game on Saturday night, and it was special. And I just want you to understand, Saturday was a special night, and it's not just because of the outcome, but more so because of the honor it was to play against Army 100 years after the 1924 game in New York, and, you know, obviously in this year's Shamrock Series game in Yankee Stadium.
That's really all I got for this one. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe, because your support truly does mean the world. And also, let me know what you would like to see next, and until then, I will see you all later.